you
You see what that shit says?
wash your damn hands. Well, I thought it was gonna say wash your damn face because I've been talking about lately. I've been putting in reels and shit up, and I'm like, I ain't washing my face today. All
I
right,
want to
we
know when you're
live.
gonna. I want to know when you're gonna put our fucking link up that says "Buy my fucking coffee cup and T-shirt."
Well, we can drop it today. How about that? How about we can drop it today? I gotta edit the privacy for some reason. It showed up. So I'm gonna refresh. I am going to make it live here
I
in
see
just
that.
a
I see that
second.
it's live.
Okay, let me
I
go
see that it's
and
live. Where the hell is
I,
everybody at?
they're coming, Kevin. They are coming. They're coming. Give them a second. Let them to come in. Just a second. Uh, Look,
I
we
don't
got
think
four
start.
people on. What's up,
I,
y'all?
I don't
Kevin
think
over
start.
here is giving us a hard time. We're trying to get
I,
this tech stuff ready. Be patient with us as it is our first live podcast. Kevin and I used to have real fun in the
mm,
studio by ourselves, but now we get to share this live with you all.
I don't think fucking Starshema knows how she probably fucked up and didn't realize who she got in bed with.
Kevin, what do you mean? We have been out here changing the game. I think this is an amazing, amazing platform. What I really love about bringing you on as a co host is I feel like it gave that conversational opportunity. There we go. Opportunity to the platform and to the podcast, and us both being educators, entrepreneurs, that we bring so much context to what we have in nursing. And I think what I've learned in our short time just in season 2, we are recording with y'all live here. Episode number is it number 6? Is how many nurses need voices, and our real mission out here is to give nurses the voices that they need, to be heard so that we can impact patient care in a different way, right? So I really have loved that, and it is really, really awesome. For those, I see some comments here, people saying I love it. Facebook users, you have to give StreamYard the right so we can see your name. If not, please don't hesitate to weigh in the chat. So happy y'all made history with us. Kevin, can we just tell them they
That's
made
right.
history with us? This is our
History with
first
us.
live
Yeah.
together.
Don't be hating my ass now when I fucking bust your balls and shit though.
Who are you talking to? The listeners or me?
Anybody, it doesn't matter. They all
Oh,
know
I'm
me and
like,
shit.
I would never. Why would I hate on you? You're my brother. Why would I be hating? Right? Y'all
Cause
see the kind of things I go through behind the scenes? Like, this is it, y'all. This is it. All right. So thank y'all for tuning in. We got some congratulations in the chat. Someone said, "Hey there, I love you both." Thank y'all for being here. Honestly, honestly,
yes, thank you
honestly.
guys for showing up. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Starshima's the one. Let's see. Wow, we know Kevin's. Yeah, you know my language and shit, so don't complain.
But you know what? That's what we appreciate about you. Like, if you probably got the censored Starshema probably a couple of years ago, and he always tells me, like behind the scenes, he always be like, "You're too censored. Like, there's a side of you you're not showing to the world." I would probably be offended, and this is how you've helped me be able to accept who I am, because for a very long time I was censored, and I was afraid to say things that mattered to me, and you have helped me come out of my shell. So I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
Just tell me how you really feel about me. No, I'm
no,
just kidding.
no, but I get it. I understand nurses are scared to speak up because you work for the hospital. You're afraid that they're gonna fire you and shit. As long as you follow hospital policy, they can't do shit. And that's where nurses have to understand this. We had a conversation today. I want to give a shout out to her because she's like one of my best pals ever. She works down at CRMC. Um, Her name is Joe Gill, and I'm sure a lot of you know her. But she told me a story today, and I'm like, shit, I feel old because I can't even remember the damn story. But even her, like one of the guys that were in her class, she's like, that's the female version of Kevin. because she was cursing like me, and she's Indian, like she's Punjabi, and they don't fucking curse that much and shit. But she's like me, like she learned a long time ago that she has to. Yeah, we love Joe too. We learned a long time ago that she is awesome and that she taught me a lot. And so she speaks up her mind, and she said the same thing today. As long as you're following policy, you ain't have to worry about nothing. So don't be scared. Like, how are we gonna change nursing if you don't fucking stand up and speak up? So
Okay, so let me just ask. Let's unpack this just a little bit because I know I got a little choice language too, right? I've dropped a few f bombs in my time and in nursing, but we I don't know, Kevin, if we can just go and speak freely about how
sure,
we
sure,
feel
sure. You
out
don't have
here
you don't
in
have to
these.
use curse words, but you can speak very freely. You got to learn how to do it. I know I'm being sexist, but all right. So this person said, "I'd like some advice on an ongoing issue at my facility. We work at a specialty unit since COVID. We are expected to float to all three facilities to whatever they choose. I'm an ICU, CVICU since COVID program changed in a majority way. So, what if you can respond and tell me what units you are being asked to float to? So you're an ICU nurse. So come out of your fucking ivory tower and go down and see your peoples down here. Because if you're an ICU nurse, you should be able to work anywhere. I love you. Don't be mad at me, but tell me what floors they're trying to ask you to float to, and that would help me understand better because it does make a difference. It does make a difference. But I love nursing. I want nurses to understand that you can float wherever you want to float, but you have to have the training and the knowledge to float there. Now, if they ask you to float to fucking L&D, tell them to piss off. Like, I don't know. I'm not an L&D nurse. Are you an L&D nurse, Starshema?
Oh no, that wasn't my specialty nor my
Right.
magic.
Right.
That was
See?
not for me. That
Look,
wasn't my ministry.
Starshema, she doesn't know what to do with my ass. She's like, fuck, Kevin's live and shit. I don't know what to do. She got her kids in the backgrounds too. So
That's why I have to put it on mute because they're calling me like they don't see me recording or they don't hear me and they're asking me things like candy and things
so
of
she
that nature.
says we float to the ICU, neuro ICU in the midst of COVID surge. I floated step down. So I mean, neuro ICU is a specialty. Let me ask you this: are you trained in a bolts? Do you know what a bolt is? BOLT. Do you know what a bolt is? Do you know what the normal ICPs are? If not, then they're not supposed to float you there. They got to provide you training and education and competencies. If they float you to step down, that's easy. You should be able to do that with no problem. But the neuro ICU, that's a little bit different. So I get that.
So
Don't
if
be,
you
yeah, go
so if
ahead.
they have so what you're saying is if they have the skill set, we have to be mindful of what we can do and then watching what are the things that they're delegating off to us. And if we can't, then we shouldn't go. But if our skill set covers the umbrella of like an ICU nurse going to medical surgical, then it should work.
I'll give you an example. If you're a medical surgical ICU nurse, I don't know if you know what that means, general medical ICU nurse, and they ask you to be a trauma ICU nurse. If you have never been trained as a trauma ICU nurse, you shouldn't be floated there. You don't have the skills. It's not that you're dumb. Right. See, this person says, I was not trained for neuro. They did give me a stable neuro patient. I did have cardiovascular patient along with a stable neuro. That patient turned out to comfort care. So if you've never taken care of neuro ICU patients, then you shouldn't be floated there. The Board of Nursing, the BRN, the Board of Registered Nursing says that you should have a competency to float wherever you're going to go. And if you're not comfortable, then you have an obligation as a nurse to say, no, I'm not going to go there. If I float there, I'll do IVs, I'll do the basic nursing care, but I'm not going to take care of a patient. It's no different to me. I'm an awesome nurse, but if they've tried to float me to labor and delivery, what the hell would I do? What would I do if I floated the L&D, Starshima?
You would probably not. We can't say it on live or we on live. I would not do you like that. But I'm sure that you would perform well. You would leverage
No,
your good nursing
no,
knowledge
but
and skill.
what if they asked me to take a team of labor and delivery patients? What would I say?
You would deny it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that shit. I'll start IVs, I'll start Foley's, I'll massage the fundus, I'll give ice chips, but I don't have no idea what a damn TOCO is. So I'm not gonna sit there and take care of patients I'm not comfortable with. And that's where nurses feel they don't have the right to say no, and you do. In fact, the board of nursing has, they state you have an obligation to say no. So I don't understand why nurses feel they can't do it. Now I know I'm being sexist. You and I have talked about this a lot. I think it comes from a female perspective. You think you're going to be a good team member. You don't want to say no because you see it as confrontation, but you got to look at patient advocacy. What's safe for the patient? And that's where nurses have to change their mindset.
Well, I think also too is being aware how to safely say no. Like I think that
I don't.
sometimes
I
we're
don't
not
even know what.
empowered
I
to
don't
say
even know what
no.
that means. Explain what the fuck that means.
That means what it means. Let's unpack this. Is because we are trained when we start working, right? When we don't know what the law says, the laws that govern us as nurses in the facilities, when we're not familiar with that, like when we talked about policies and procedures and scope of practice, some nurses don't know what they can say no to and what they're afraid of. If I
Then
say no, am
who's
I
fucking
abandoning my job?
whose fucking fault is that then? If you
Well,
don't fucking know, whose fault is that?
I think it's one we can
No,
take because we're all
no,
accountable,
no.
our
Let's
own
go back.
accountability.
Let's back the fuck up. Whose fucking fault is it if you don't know the laws and the regulations?
It will be us as
Say
nurses because we are
right.
responsible to know the
Yeah.
laws when
So
we're
don't
there.
bullshit people. If you don't know the fucking rules and regulations and the laws that
Hmm.
govern you, that's your damn fault.
Right,
You are relying on a corporation that only
right.
wants you as a fucking number. If you die tomorrow, they don't give a shit about you. Now I don't know what your license number is, but just make up a number. What's your license number? What's your license number, Starshima? Just make up a number.
Sorry. Say it one more time, Kevin. I
What
was
is your
distracted.
what is your license? Tell those damn kids to be quiet. We recorded it shit. Them Uncle Kevin's gonna come over and kick their ass if they don't be quiet.
Right, Uncle Kevin gonna get them. Okay, tell me what is my license number?
Yeah. Just make up a number. What is your license number?
892567.
892567. So you are no longer Starshema RN. You're a fucking prisoner of the state of California. You are convict 892457. And that's what
And not
people
a
don't.
convict. Hold on.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's what people don't understand. You are guilty until proven innocent in the board of nursing. And that's where people fail to realize that shit. All right, so look at this. This person says some guidance on travel nursing. What's the best way to file taxes and not pay crazy money? Get a fucking pay a goddamn tax person and shit. You make all that money and shit. No, so seriously though, if you're traveling, everything you do as a travel nurse is written off. Like if you buy scrubs, if you go out to eat, you can claim 50% of your meals. You can claim your hotels. You can claim your gas money, but don't be cheap as shit. Hire a damn tax advisor. I mean, you can write off a lot of money. Do you have kids? The person who's saying they're a travel nurse, do you have kids? I'll help you with that shit. You can start your own business if you got kids. And you can do what's called the Starshema Family Management Company and shit and write shit off on taxes. Did you know that, Starshema?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I
So,
think too, like for all our nurses, I think that's a good question because I think that, especially during the travel times, especially COVID, and now we're seeing some of these nurses making tons of money. It's like, hey, what do I do now? I made all the money during this time. Now they're going to tax me like crazy, right? I think that when we go in and look at these things, and I know it's hindsight is now because you've already done it, is looking at ways to go back and reinvest the money that will give you tax breaks, will help your money grow for you in the future as well. I think would be a good thing of when you're making all the money versus making the money to live off the money now, but how do I put it away to help it grow for the
yep.
future?
Yeah, but we talked about this. I'm not a big fan of 401ks, 401(b)s. In 2008, all of these older nurses like me and older, they lost their fucking shirt. I encourage every nurse. Now, this is not financial advice, so if you lose your money, that's on fucking you and shit. Always seek expert financial advice. But I encourage nurses to look at what's called an index universal life insurance policy. It's not only life insurance, but it grows at 9.6% interest every year. And it's the bank of whoever the fuck your name is. So, like for Starshema, it's the bank of Starshema. You can put money into it. You're not going to lose money. If the stock market crashes, it doesn't lose money. It grows over the last 20 to 30 years, it grows 9.6% interest. And it's your money. You don't get taxed on it. If you take it out and borrow it, you don't get taxed on it. So I encourage every nurse to look up what's called an index universal life insurance policy. That's what the rich people do and shit. So
I totally agree. I have them for my children. I have them for myself.
yeah,
We have them, and I just actually, as you're saying this, looked at my year growth. I just got my, I send you your statements, and I just looked at my year growth. It has grown faster than any 401k that I've ever
right,
saved into, or 403b in my experience. But we don't understand that. And when we look at these things as nurses and how do we be smarter, some people are into maxing out their retirement, which is okay if you want to have both. But looking at how you can grow your money, it's either be taxed now or taxed later. And I know we
I'm
want to lessen those tax liabilities in our current situation, but thinking about what does your future look like? I'd rather pay taxes today than to pay taxes in 20 years, because now
right.
I got to pay on all this money, and I can guarantee you that taxes are not going to be the same. So we have to look at as nurses. I mean, I don't want to work. I'm not a bedside nurse anymore, but I don't want to work at the bedside. And then at the end, I have to change my lifestyle
Right,
drastically
right.
because I lost money. It didn't pay out. It didn't do these things. So looking into an IUL, I highly, highly recommend. Someone put here, infinite banking is another choice.
I don't know
With
what
that,
that
I have
means.
some friends who
What the
um,
fuck is infinite banking?
infinite banking.
What
I'm
is
not
it?
as versed in it, but it's basically when you become your own bank, like you were
Yeah,
saying.
I get that. Yeah,
Mhm.
but what
So you
people
invest
don't.
the money, you put in an amount of money, and then the money grows just as with others. And it's you essentially you borrow from yourself, you pay back.
Yeah, but what people don't realize is you're about to go to sleep one night and wake up tomorrow, and the whole fucking world is about to change, and people are asleep. How many of you out there know what digital currency is? They started in December of 2022, a digital dollar. And May or June of this year, they're going to break out the digital dollar live, and they're going to force everybody onto the digital dollar. Your paper money is going to be fucking worthless. Most people don't know, but the dollar is backed by oil, and they're moving away from oil, and they're going to go back to the gold standard. And most people have no clue, and their digital dollar or their paper dollar is going to be fucking worthless. So I think
No,
I think nurses need to really educate themselves. We're really uneducated as healthcare professionals when it comes to money, the way the hospitals work, the way our healthcare works. We are not in healthcare. We're in wealth care. We do everything, every fucking decision that we make in healthcare is based upon money. And that's where we get in trouble and shit. So just keep that in mind. You'll see that shit coming.
No,
Uh,
it was a while ago, and this was before. I think it was during COVID. It was this video that came on, and I couldn't find it again because they take these things off of YouTube sometimes. And it was talking about, and I was looking at it from a business aspect because they're talking about essentially we're going to get into a world of like the have and the have-nots. And they were talking about if we look at how the world is completely going digital, and there's going to be spaces that's going to be able to have the monopoly because they are prepared for it, right?
right?
So if you're not set up, if your business isn't set up digitally to take credit cards, you remember you would go to a business or establishment, they wouldn't take a credit card from you, like foolish, because this is where it is going. I've actually seen that in some cases they've trialed like chips underneath people's skin to where digital, you're not going to be going and taking $1 into the store. You're going to be wanding your wrist and you're going to
The
be paying
mark
for your goods.
the mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just lay it out here for us, Kevin. But
I'm
I
just
see that they're
saying.
already testing these things out. But what is that? Is that a digital
Yeah,
dollar?
that's a digital currency because they want to know where you spend every damn dollar you spend. So,
Yeah.
you just got to understand that. Right
Yeah.
now, um, crypto, the SEC is talking about, crypto's bad, but the whole time, all these countries are setting up digital currencies because we're not backed by gold. Most
Hmm.
currencies are not backed by gold; they're backed by bullshit. Your dollar, that's what it's worth right there.
Right.
So
Nothing.
it's worth nothing and shit. I mean, we're borrowing upon borrowing upon borrowing, and people are asleep and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
whatever, you got to do what you got to do. This
Right.
person says, how do you feel about the possibility of them changing patient to nurse ratios due to the
Due to-
nurse short?
Mhm.
They're not going to change the patient ratios because it's a law already. Like, you're the one that, and I don't know who wrote this message, so don't take it personal. But if you don't know the fucking laws, that's on you. There is a law that's written. It's already law that says you can only take so many patients to so many nurses. But most nurses haven't educated themselves. The only people that are educated are the union hospitals. The non-union hospitals don't realize that there are patient to nurse ratios, and you feel obligated to take those patients. All you got to do is say this: "Fuck you, Starshema. I'm not taking those patients. I don't feel safe." Now, can they fire you? I mean, technically they can because you're being insubordinate, but they can't. They can't report you to the board for refusing to take patients. You have an obligation. Even the board of registered nurses state that you have an obligation to refuse an assignment if it's unsafe. I think it's just nurses are scared. They're afraid to say no because they don't want to lose their job. But if you have a nursing shortage and you say no, how the fuck are they going to lose your job? I mean, what are they going to do? Fire me and shit. Okay, I'll go take some unemployment. I'll take stress leave.
Well, many nurses don't have that courage because, you think
Then
about the
then
profession we've
fucking
been in.
look at me. Then fucking get the courage.
Well, here's the thing is like stability is a big thing, and to think about, yeah, we should be empowered to speak up for ourselves, right? And get the
Do you
courage. But
want
how do we get the courage to
do you want to lose your
advocate for
license?
ourselves?
Do you want to
Absolutely
lose your
not.
license or do you want to have the courage?
Well, I don't want to lose my license,
Now,
right? But some
you're
of
not.
them feel obligated to do it.
That's because they have been brainwashed to think that way.
Yeah.
Again, my friend Joe,
Mm-hmm.
we had this conversation today, and she says the same thing I say.
Yeah.
If you understand medicine,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I encourage nurses to, when they take their continuing education classes, don't just take bullshit classes. Learn your craft. I know what doctors know. I can't practice because I'm not a doctor, but I know what the fuck they know. And the reason why I know what they know is because I study, I research, I ask questions. So when I confront them and I say, look, Dr. Starshima, we can't do this, this, and this because of A, B, and C, they can't question my ass. Now, if you just come with some bullshit ass answer like, I don't feel comfortable, you don't have a leg to stand on. But if you can stand toe to toe with them medically and articulate what you want to say, and it makes sense medical wise, they can't fucking argue with you. And if they do, say that's fine. I'm gonna chart that shit. Soon as you say
So
I'm gonna
chart that
chart,
you were arguing with the doctor about what to do medically.
no, but I'll give you an example.
Okay.
You remember? I don't remember if we talked about this or not. But how many of you know what the Daisy Award is?
I remember the days. Yeah, we
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
Daisy Awards,
I
right? Those
fu-
nurses
I
that go over and
I
do the.
fucking won that son of a bitch with this mouth. Did you know that?
Did you win the Daisy Award?
Yeah, I fucking
You
won that.
little Daisy, you.
I won that at the last hospital you and I worked at, and not
Okay.
even I did not do anything special to win it.
What'd you
You
do?
know, you know the doctor. I won't mention his name, and I
Yeah, we
like the
won't.
guy. He's a nice fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lady. I guess she was a. Now don't be mad, Starshim, but she's a rich white lady. I guess she was
Ain't nothing
a.
wrong with that.
I know, but she was super rich. She
Okay.
way richer than Kevin, and
Right.
so she was a donor of the hospital that we worked in.
Mm-hmm.
She was part of the I don't even know what you call it, the foundation or whatever the fuck they call that shit.
Okay.
And she was a columnist of the Fresno Bee. Like, she was a bigwig.
Okay.
She had seizures. She's never had seizures before. She never had no medical problems. So she had seizures, and then so you're the day shift nurse. I'm the night shift nurse.
Mm-hmm.
You gave him a report and said, listen, this bitch, she's had seizures before. I mean, she's never had seizures before. Her CT scan is normal. Her labs are normal. Everything's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still a Glasgow of like 12 or 13.
Okay. A little
And
altered.
well, the doctor wanted to discharge her home.
Mm.
So what would you do?
You advocate for the patient. She's not back
Yep.
to her baseline, so why would you alter mental
Yeah,
strategies?
yeah, but the CT scan's normal. Everything's normal, Starshema. We're gonna send her home.
Well, despite a CT scan being normal and all those things, the patient is still altered, which is in her baseline.
So what did I do?
Advocate for the patient,
Yeah,
I hope.
I said, I'm not sending this bitch home. She's fucking a Glasgow 12 to
Not
13.
not I hope you didn't call her the B word.
I did. I told this doctor that. I'm like, I'm not sending this fucking lady home. You want to discharge her? Here's the fuck. Look, here's the discharge instructions. Send that bitch home yourself. And what did he do?
He attempted to discharge her himself. No, I'm
And
just
what? And
kidding.
what? Yes, he did. That's
Did he?
exactly
Oh
right. Yeah.
wow. I don't know. I'm just being sarcastic. I didn't know what
That's
happened.
exactly what. And what happened to her when he went in to discharge her?
I don't know.
She had another massive seizure.
Mm,
She spent 6 days in the ICU.
wow.
And what did I say when we walked out of the room?
Probably I told you so. Probably
Yeah.
I can just imagine what Kevin said
I said, this
after.
is why you fucking listen to Kevin.
Oh, okay.
That's what I told him. I said, don't be fucking stupid next time. Listen to me, motherfucker. I got 30 years experience in this shit. You
Right.
don't discharge people with a glass scale less than 15.
Right.
Especially if
If
that's
it's
not
not
their
their
normal.
baseline.
Yeah, I'm
Come
like,
on.
what the
That's
fuck,
basic.
dude? That's fucking common sense 101.
Yeah.
And I left it. That's all I did. And I don't know, 2 or 3 months later, somebody was walking down the hallway. Oh, congratulations, Kevin. Congratulations, Kevin. I'm like, for what? Oh, you won the Daisy Award. I'm like, what the fuck is the Daisy Award?
I'm a little daisy.
I don't know, but I didn't know what that shit was. And that's all I did was advocate for my patient.
Well, that's awesome. I think that sometimes I think that that's a real good story to tell about when we know sometimes the right thing to do and what we feel in our gut, and sometimes we feel um like we don't want to cause too much strife, right? Or go up against. And I think this is a real good quality. And this is no, I'm not disrespecting my women. I'm a woman nurse. Is I think that our male counterparts, such as yourself, you all have a lot more, especially when it comes to another man, right? When you think about if the physician was a male, it's kind
I'm
of
calling
different when a
bullshit.
woman nurse approaches a male. Just thinking about, I know we don't say that this is it and equality should be real, but the way that women are viewed in general by our male counterparts are not the same. So I
I'm
can
calling
see as a
bullshit.
woman nurse, maybe knowing these things and not having the courage to speak up for them, to advocate for the patient, although it probably would not be any malintent of not doing it, but just thinking about the ramifications potentially if they went up against a male counterpart. Because let's just be honest, Kevin, yeah, you're a real nice husband. You don't mind your wife telling you things, but out in the market,
Wait. Where did you
men
learn
don't
that shit?
respect women as
Wait,
much.
wait. Where did you learn
But
that shit from? Who told you that bullshit?
I'm just saying,
I don't want Miss Pat telling me shit. I get mad at her. I'm like, who the fuck are
do you
you
get
talking
mad
to?
at her? Don't get
Yeah,
mad at
yeah.
her.
I'm
Listen
like,
to
who are
her.
you to talk to me like that and shit? I'm a man.
Right. You are a man, but I think men in marriages they learn to give their wives a little bit more grace and just
Yeah,
like because a happy wife is a happy life.
we got no damn choice though. That's the
No
fucking
choice,
part.
right? No choice. So we got
Mm.
another one in here. I just okay, feel the possibility. Let's see what Miss Sarah had in here.
I think nurses need to be a little bit more open to taking assignments a little different than they are used to. That's how we grow. Yeah, but I get that, Sarah. But are you trained? Yeah, she says, don't be a fucking sissy. Yeah, I got in trouble last week, Sarah, for saying that shit. But I call y'all fucking younger nurses pussies and shit. So I get in
Wait
trouble.
a
But
minute.
I know, but I do. I get in trouble and shit. But my question to you, Sarah, though, is have you been trained? Because this is what happened. The state says if you haven't been properly trained or receive a proper competency, why are you taking those patients? And you as a nurse are going to get in trouble for that. The
Mm-hmm,
hospital doesn't give a shit. They'll throw you under the bus in a heartbeat. So
mm-hmm.
I get what she's saying. I mean, my friend lost her job and took them to court and won. What did she lose her job for and what did she win for? That's what I'd like to know. So respond to that shit and let me know what that is.
Also, someone said there's been some chatter on the state level about changing the ratios. Some
Okay,
legislation.
what does that mean? What are we changing the state ratios to? Because that shit ain't gonna happen. I can guarantee that shit won't happen because the California Nurses Association, the largest RN union in the world, they won't fucking let that happen. They got the money and they got the nursing power for that shit to happen.
Yeah.
So I can guarantee that shit won't happen.
Right.
So
Yep. So we got to
yeah.
do what's best for us, protect. I think it is like, I think it's one is a thing to grow. One thing is nurses and especially seasoned nurses, COVID, life has changed. I do think that we have to be open of how we look at assignments, but I also for growth, right? There are some things like if you an ER nurse, can you operate on a med surge floor? If you're an ICU nurse, can you operate on a med surge floor? Like understanding those things to expand your capacity, looking at it from a different lens versus being comfortable in our zones and the areas of where and not want to float. When I was a bedside nurse, I didn't want to float out my department. If I knew they were gonna float me, I'll call out. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I got that. I got that. I'm gonna call out somebody too, because Tiffany says she has no issues calling out a male doctor. But my question is, do you have a problem calling out a female doctor? Why's it got to be a male doctor? You sexist
I
ass woman, Tiffany.
she made Tiffany may have been responding to what I was saying about us as women, like calling out male doctors in relationship to that may be the response that she was talking about there.
Yeah, but Tiffany's. I know Tiffany. She's seasoned.
Okay. Yeah.
She's a seasoned nurse. But the problem is, how long did it take you, Tiffany, to learn to call out a male doctor? Did you do it right away? Did you take a year, 2 years, 5 years? Because I think a lot of nurses have they're nervous to call out doctors in general. People think they can't speak to a doctor in a certain way because they're a doctor. You got to change your thought process. We're here for the patient. We're not here for the fucking doctor. Fuck that motherfucker, whether it's a man or woman. But that's my point, though. If you don't know what you're talking about, how are you going to call them out? She's, I don't care who or what they. All right, they don't feed my family. I love that. That's true.
Right. But I think
That's
the thing
true.
is, like you said, like if you don't know, right? Sometimes some of these are younger nurses, they're not as confident in their information that they know. And if you don't feel confident, think about the times when you don't know the thing, like maybe that looks right, or maybe my intuition is telling me this, but I don't have the evidence to back, those things to back it up, then they may be a little bit hesitant. Like, with that patient with the DCS of 13, like would they have known like I shouldn't discharge them home or because they said so? Should I? What was the laws? Ultramental status is a huge sign. I mean, that is huge, right?
Right.
As nurses, but some people don't even look at that, especially I won't say
So why wouldn't a physician who's supposed to be better trained than us as nurses, why don't they know that shit? Why wouldn't that motherfucker know it?
well, because
I-
that's a very good question.
right. See,
Yeah,
that's
I
my
don't,
point.
and maybe they do know, but maybe
No, they don't. They're fucking just as dumb as the rest of us and shit. Some doctors are stupid as fuck. Some are awesome, just like nurses. Some nurses are awesome. Some suck ass.
because we're people.
Don't try to be nice. Fucking Starshema. Call it what it is and shit.
No, I mean it's people, right? That's people. That's in everywhere that we work.
Right.
Some are
That's
going to be really
fucking
great at what they're
right.
doing. Some are going to be
Exactly.
horrible. You
Yeah,
know.
but that's because this is my big pet peeve with like nursing because I'm a nurse. I got a nurse who wants to do continuing education units, and they want to spend $30 for 30 CEUs that they can finish in 5 minutes. What the fuck did that teach you though? How are you going to be better at what you're doing? How are you going to improve your craft? How are you going to be an awesome nurse if you're doing 30 continuing education units in 30 fucking minutes for $30? You're going to be a shitty fucking nurse. You could laugh at you, but you know I'm telling the truth. This shit.
Laugh. Net CE gets us
I say
every 2 years, right? They get who
I
we
don't.
are.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't do that shit. And what you suck at, and I don't mean you personally, but what
Right.
nurses suck at is you could take a class around the fucking world, and whatever class you take, you can write that shit off on your taxes.
Right.
You could fucking take a cruise on a cruise ship and take a education class and write that whole trip off. Did you
Right.
know that?
Oh
You go to
yeah.
Disney World. Yeah, you go to Disney World and shit and write that whole trip off. That's how
Yeah.
crazy nurses are. All right, so here's another
Absolutely.
question. Probably 2 to 3 years. I also look up everything. I always questioned, even if I didn't know. When I was a young nurse, I always said, "Can you educate me why
Mm-hmm.
we are doing that?" The question
Mm-hmm.
alone made the question. Yeah, I get that shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
but how many nurses are willing to question? Like, this is my biggest pet peeve in class when I teach and shit. I say, when you get an older nurse, Starshema, she's been doing this 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
and she says, check your patients every 2 hours. Don't wake them fucking up. They're
Mm-hmm.
sleeping at night. Don't wake them up, Starshema.
Mm.
What do you do?
What do you do after
Hmm.
being a 30-year nurse?
Yeah, I'm a charge nurse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a 30-year nurse. I've been nursing 30 years. I'm a charge nurse. And I say, Starshema, don't fucking wake your patient up every hour.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wake them up. Just leave them the fuck alone. Let them sleep.
I wouldn't probably wake them up every hour because it's important to get their rest, right? But you will have to do it at a decent. I mean, you have to definitely check that they're breathing, right? And I would definitely wake them up, maybe not every hour, but
What does the California law say?
uh, tell me, Kevin, because I don't know.
It says
What is
every
this?
hour. It says
To wake
every
them
hour.
up every hour?
It says you have to. It doesn't say wake up. It just says you have to
Oh,
check.
okay.
It says you have to check on your patient every hour.
Okay. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
check on them.
But what does that mean, though?
That can be it can be multiple different things, but it doesn't
Okay,
say if it doesn't say specifically wake them up because I understand the importance to healing. We need rest. So
that's
if I wake you up
bullshit. Look
every
at me.
hour, you're not
Look at
getting your
me.
rest
No, that's bullshit. You're not in the fucking hospital to rest. You're in the hospital to what?
to get better. But how do you get
Right.
better if you're not
You
resting?
don't need to fucking rest. You can
You
fucking rest.
do.
No, you don't. You can fucking rest at home.
It's at the basis of
Nope.
Maslow's.
What? Nope. Watch this shit. If you go in and you look at your patient every hour, you peek in the door and you fucking look. What are you looking for?
Well, if I was being the nurse that I am, I'm gonna make sure that they're resting, that they're breathing,
No,
looking at
you
their breath.
wait, hold on,
What?
stop it.
Yes,
Say that again. What are you looking for?
that
I
they're
heard you
breathing.
right. So you see their chest rise and fall.
Yeah,
Can a patient be dead and their chest is still rising and falling?
potentially yes.
Exactly.
Are you
So
gonna check their vitals every hour?
yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, come on, Kevin.
Yes,
Well, we
I
put them
am.
on an automatic machine like we would do in
Look,
the ER.
I get that,
I'm
but
not waking up a
okay,
cute
but
eight
see,
hour vital
that's
signs
why
every
most
hour.
patients die between the hours of 5:30 and 7:30 every morning because nurses won't fucking go check on
Well, I'll check my patient.
them. Yeah,
That
but
I will do.
you just said like every other nurse, they're gonna look at the breathing, but patients can be breathing but still be
And
fucking dead.
right.
How would you know they're dead if they're
Let
breathing?
me ask you this. Okay, so I need some of your good experience for this young rookie nurse that I am. So, in your patient who you're caring for over a night shift, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're checking them, I think what most every Q2 hours, right?
Nope,
In some
nope,
cases we have
nope.
it's every hour. Okay,
I
so we
check
check
my
them every hour.
yes,
So
that's
does that
right.
mean that we go and check their vital signs? Is it feasible to be able to check a person's vital signs on your patients every
You
hour?
don't need to check their vital signs every hour. But here's what I do to my patients.
Mm-hmm.
How many of your patients are old and how many are they young?
Depends.
No,
Majority
it
of them
does
might be
not.
old though.
Right. 90% of them are old as fuck. Old people like what?
To sleep? No.
No, they don't. They like to talk, they like touch, they
Mhm.
like feelings. So at 7 o'clock, 7:30, when I get on night shift, I come in and say, how you doing, Starshema? I'm Kevin, I'm your nurse. I'm gonna wake your motherfucking ass up every hour, whether you like it or not. Now here's your choices. A, you can go to fuck home. B, I can check your fucking pulses in your feet. Or C, I can wake your ass up every hour. What do you prefer?
Kevin, is that really your practice? That's what
Yes,
you tell your
yes, it
patient?
is. Yes, I do. And
Hmm.
what do most of them say?
Wake them up, probably.
No, no, they say just check the pulses in my feet. So I sneak in, I check the pulses in their feet. What did I just do every hour?
You check for circulation
Right, not just that,
and
but
warmth and
right,
all.
if a patient's fucking dead, what do they feel like?
They're cold.
Right. So if I touch your feet, I don't have to wake you up. I check the pulses, I can check your warmth. Now, if you say, listen, motherfucker, don't wake me up. I don't give a shit. Leave me the fuck alone. What can I do as a nurse? If you told me, Starshema, if I said, Starshema, I'm going to wake you up, you said, don't fucking wake me up. Leave me the fuck alone. What could I do as a nurse?
Well, you can probably document it, and then
Right.
you will still
Star,
check on the patient.
no, no, I won't
You
check
wouldn't
on you.
check on them.
Nope. Because I'm going to write, Starshema, my patient said, fuck off. I don't want you to bother me. Leave me the fuck alone. She understands that if I don't check on her, she's going to fucking be dead in the morning. Whose fault is that?
Would that be a good decision of a good
Yes,
nurse?
yes, it is because patients have what? It is because patients
They
have
have
what?
rights. They do
Right.
have rights.
So
Yes.
I told you what's gonna happen if I didn't check on you. I
Right.
documented it. So if your ass dies during the night, that's on you and shit.
Yeah, somebody said documented. If it wasn't
Right.
documented, it wasn't done. If it wasn't documented, it's a
That's my
conversation.
yes, that's my point though. There's nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
that's where we fail as nurses. We don't understand that we got to communicate that shit to nurses.
Right.
I'm very straightforward with my patients. If you're a diabetic, I'm like, listen, we're gonna cut off your fucking feet if you don't take care of yourself.
Kevin, it's almost sound like you're a great compassionate nurse,
I
but I
am
almost would be
compassionate, but
scared for you to be my
no,
nurse.
no, I'm compassionate, but I don't bullshit with my patients.
Well, I think that real conversations are
You
important.
think that patients are going to be taken aback by the words that come out of my mouth, but they're not.
They
They're
appreciate
very
your
they,
realness.
yeah, they appreciate that shit.
They appreciate your authenticity. And
Yeah,
you know, like that
because
video that you sent me, like what was it about the waves? About what evokes more do you remember that video you sent me?
I don't remember
And it
which
was about
one.
authenticity in a world like,
I seen you so much shit. You probably sick of me and shit.
but it was basically saying like when you put authenticity is the thing that's most felt, is the highest vibrational
You
kind of
know,
movement where people think like
that's right.
love
Yeah,
would be
I
it, but
remember.
it
Yeah,
was
I remember that.
authenticity.
Yeah, now I remember the video. I sent you that said, which one do you think is more realistic? Which one do people appreciate more? Love,
Mm-hmm.
sorrow, or authenticity? And
Mm-hmm.
which
Authenticity.
one was it?
Authenticity.
Right. People
Yeah.
want you to be fucking real. They don't want you to
Mm-hmm.
bullshit them.
Right.
That's why people love Kevin because I'm fucking real and shit. I don't bullshit people. I tell them the truth. So
Look at someone giving you kudos over there. They said that's what I love about Kevin.
yeah,
He is
that's
so
she.
real.
Whoever that was didn't say I love you. They said that's what I live about Kevin. You
Oh,
should
they meant love.
whatever you should live about Kevin. Live Kevin, goddamn it. I like that shit.
Yeah, Kevin gets a little bit, just in case y'all cannot tell Kevin that y'all love me without telling him that you love him, because he gets a little bit offended. You see how it went down in the group? I'm just messing with you,
All
Kevin.
right, we missed this question. I got to go back
What?
because
Which one? Go ahead.
Melanie Medina, I love her and shit. We've known each other for a while. She says, "How often are nurses on medical surgical supposed to check on their patients?" So
Okay,
are you ready for this shit? Are you ready?
go ahead.
I remember being told it was every 2 hours to check on them, but that's the fucking problem. That's my biggest issue right there. Nurses are being told to check on their patients every 2 hours, but what does your fucking policy say?
Mm.
I can guarantee I'll give you a fucking free class. Any of you listen to me, I'll give you a fucking free class if you find me a policy that says other than every hour.
Ooh,
Because
what a challenge.
I can guarantee you that every hospital policy in the valley says the same thing every hour. Your manager, your director, your charge nurse tells you every 2 hours because they only give a shit about the patient satisfaction scores, which is HCAPS.
So let me ask you: is it the nurse that can check on them, or the nursing assistant, or the
It just
UAP, or the
it
tech?
it just says the law and the policy says a patient has to be assessed hourly.
Assessed hourly. Well, then if
So what
that's just the nurse, because CNAs don't assess patients.
right. So but the problem is this, if you peek in the room and the
Mhm.
fucking patient is breathing or you see chest rise and fall, what does the nurse assume?
That the patient is alive and
But
breathing.
my question to you is it possible that a patient is dead and still breathing or still looks like they're breathing?
It could be a possibility.
What is the medical term for that?
I don't know. Tell us, Kevin.
Agonal gasp.
But
What is that?
with agonal gas, but it looks different though.
No, it does not. If you've never seen it, then you don't know it. And that's the problem because most nurses have not seen it. Literally, the patient's chest rises and falls because remember, they're looking from a distance and the patient's doing this. And it looks like they're what?
But I don't know,
Listen,
Kevin.
I do. I'm 100% without a doubt, Starshima. I eat, sleep, and drink. If you don't, look at me. If I don't fucking know shit, I'm a stupid motherfucker, Starshima. I don't know
No, you're
shit.
not.
I am. Listen to what Kevin's saying. I don't know
Yes.
shit, but what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck do I know? What do I know without a doubt? I know this like the bones in my body. What do I
Right.
know? What do I know?
Nursing?
Yes, I eat, sleep, and drink this shit.
I believe you, but is agonal gas, does it look like normal
Yes,
breathing?
if it does at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning when you're peeking in the motherfucking room. That's
Well,
exactly what it looks like, and
well,
that's
I think we need to assess more thoroughly then and know where
and
we're
then
looking
when
at in
nurses
our
and
assessment.
then when nurses see it, they go back to the monitor, and what do they see on the monitor?
Yeah, somebody said just give me mouth to mouth. Just give me damn mouth to mouth, Kevin.
Serena, I would give you mouth to mouth any fucking time. Don't worry about that shit.
This one says that I've known a few nurses that have
See,
found
of
patients
course, because
dead,
most
and it's
because
on night shifts.
yeah, because most codes or rapid response happen between 5:30 and 7:30 every fucking morning because that's what happens on night shift.
She said she'll take it.
I give it to you. I give it to you too. You're beautiful, Serena. I love you. Don't get me in trouble, Miss Pat, because we could get in trouble, me and you.
They said
Eh,
they see the
Now,
beautiful PEA on the monitor.
right? But see, Robin knows that shit, and that's what the problem. They see normal sinus rhythm. They see sinus Brady, which is a
Yeah,
PQRS&T, and they think that the patient is alive. But what have they not done?
they haven't checked for circulation.
Yeah, just you don't even have to do that. Just go touch the fucking patient. What does the dead person feel like?
Cold.
Right. As soon as you
Depends on
feel
how long
them.
they've been gone.
Well, yeah, but remember, I was your rapid response nurse. So when I come in, I'm checking on the patient. I'm like, Starshema, this bitch is in fucking rigor mortis.
Once
How
you pick
long? How long's rigor mortis take to set in? Like, but I just checked them
up
15
Kevin,
minutes. I just checked them 15 minutes ago, Kevin. No, you didn't.
you
That
did.
shit. It's been like a fucking hour and shit. Like, what the fuck? Don't bullshit me.
They didn't start turning blue.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I don't give a shit. The patient's dead, but don't act like I'm stupid and shit. Like I
Right.
know nursing. Like I love this shit.
So
I'm
Kevin, we know you know your nursing. We
no, but
we would never second guess you and what you know because
no,
you
but
know what the doctors know.
I love this shit. Like I
You
eat, sleep, and
do
dream this. I do. Like I don't know anything
absolutely
in the world, but I know this shit. So
right. No, I know you do for sure.
you see, we had monitors at the nurses station that know. Yeah, I believe that shit. Nobody monitors that shit, and this is my biggest pet peeve. And now, don't be mad at me if I'm saying it wrong, Nakia. But we get in trouble right now because nurses are being asked to take the EKG exam when they get hired, and then a lot of nurses are failing the EKG exam, and managers and directors are surprised, but we don't fucking use that shit. We got EKG techs, we got monitor techs, we got doctors. Most nurses don't know how to read their fucking strips,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not mad at them, but don't as a manager, don't get mad at your staff because they don't understand the shit. If you don't use it, you're gonna lose it.
Right.
So I mean,
Absolutely.
I love you, Nakia. Don't worry. I hope I'm saying your name right. Shit. Here's a drink to you, Nakia. I'm gonna smash that ass.
Y'all got to help my good brother out over here. Help my good brother out. But it was somebody in a group, Kevin. And I know it's no other ones. If I missed a comment in the chat, I apologize. Y'all can drop some in. But it was a comment that came through, and if I moved it, I sent it to you in your messenger, and it was about
To
nurses
me,
reigniting. Because one thing I think about, though, honestly, and all the joking and everything to the side, and even think about finding the patients in the middle of the night not breathing, things of that nature. One thing about me, and it could have been in my experience, is I wanted to always go to work to do a really good job for my patients, right? And even
yeah.
in that, sometimes I would try to do, I wasn't a good delegator, right? So I wasn't putting the things off or having people do things for me, for my patients, right? I wanted to do them because I was a very type A kind of nurse and I wanted to learn all that I needed to know. And when I was there, because I went and I work really hard. I gotten this license. I'm bringing this up out of the mud. Is that I wanted to care for my patients to that degree. Like I took it serious. I didn't want nobody on my watch, y'all. Like if I could, I didn't want nobody um on my watch. So I think even about how we assess, I think these are the things that are changing in healthcare too. This is why the NCLEX exam is changing because we need more nurses who are willing to nurse and care for the patient versus showing up to the job for a dollar. Now, I know that there's different dynamics that are happening in the workspace right now as well, right? Like you said, they're asking nurses to take these EKG classes. I don't know if they're asking them now with the motive that they can do more, right? Now you have greater resources, more responsibility, or we found out that there was some type of knowledge gap around reading strips and being able to identify when a person was having an MI or when there was a block, when they got AV fib, when they're having PVCs, if they weren't able to identify that, right? But I think we have to bring our passion back and reignite that yeah, we're here to feed our families, but also people are entrusting us with their lives and their
Right.
assessment, right? Like you said, checking the circulation, checking those pedal pulses, even knowing what agonal respirations kind of look like and what do they sound like. Is normal? Is they snoring, or is it something abnormal? Where's that indicator that something's going wrong?
Right. I
With
agree.
that, being able to identify that. So how do we get that love back? How do we get that passion back with still being able to care for our families, not be burnt out, but caring for the people who we have in our hands? I really feel like it is a privilege for me to care for somebody at their most vulnerable.
Yeah, me too.
That's the level of who I am as a nurse. No money can replace that. I even took that over into education. I feel like it's a privilege to educate new nurses now and instill in them the level, right, and the magnitude of nursing to where they can go with it. So I digressed a little bit, but I think I can't remember who posted this question. But they were talking about how to reignite the fire or the passion while navigating a system that money changes.
Yeah, but you got to fucking do that within yourself. I can't. Kevin and Starshema, cannot reignite the passion within yourself. You have to do that shit. And
Right.
when I teach, I ask every nurse the same thing: do you want to be an awesome nurse or do you want to be a good nurse?
Mm-hmm.
If you're in this fucking field for money, you're in the wrong field.
Mm-hmm.
We will always be on the bottom. They don't give a shit about nursing. We're the first one that they throw underneath the bus.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that we can get money and be compassionate and excited about what we do is if we take control of our own profession.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not willing to take control of our profession. Why?
What are some barriers that are there that why
You,
people are not taking
you,
control?
you're the fucking barrier, Starshima. You are.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Meaning because would you think it's we one's unwillingness to
Change.
change or to
This is
find out what their
no,
desire is?
no. I think
What?
it's because I get this all the time when people come here to our classes. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why. I don't know why I have to do this every 2 years. I've been doing this 30 fucking years. Yeah, but you suck at that shit. Even though
Well,
you've been doing it 30 years, you fucking suck at it.
right.
Medicine changes. Even though we're a nurse, we're in the field of what, Starshima?
I mean, healthcare.
No,
It's an ever
no,
changing
no.
system.
Use the correct word, Starshima.
What do you want me to say, Kevin?
We are in the field of medicine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but use that word. Words matter.
Medicine.
Words matter.
Okay.
Do words not matter to you?
Words do matter.
Right.
Wordsmithing is key. Right.
If I called you a certain word, you'd be like, "No, fuck you, Kevin. That's not me. I'm this."
Right.
Is
True.
that not true?
True.
So words matter in healthcare.
Hmm.
What are we? What field are we in?
We're in the field of health, nursing,
Yeah, see that shit?
medicine. Okay,
Yeah,
medicine.
that's my point. Yeah, but it makes a difference.
Right.
And medicine is the field of fucking change.
It's ever changing.
It
Yeah.
ever changes. So why are you surprised? Why are nurses surprised that we're in the fucking field of change? We change, like what we learned today is this fucking something different is going to be tomorrow.
Well, I
And
think
nurse,
that we should, if we picked up what they were putting down in nursing school, that was laid in the very foundation and the fundamental level of what we were doing.
yeah, but
Oh,
we all got fucked in nursing school.
no, we did. Well, you
Yes.
mustn't have a good educator like me if
No,
you got.
no, that's
I'm
bullshit.
just
It's bullshit. We all got, even you got fucked in nursing when
why?
you were,
Tell us how.
because who was your teacher? An
I
old
can't
ass.
remember.
Yeah, but listen to me. Was your teacher an old ass fucking nurse or a young nurse?
Mm. I pretty much mine's all like middle age at that
I
time.
don't
I
believe
think.
that shit. I think they're fucking old as shit.
You think so?
Yeah, if you look at numbers, numbers don't lie.
Hmm.
Most nursing instructors are old as shit, anywhere from 55 to 75 years old.
Oh wow.
Very few are fucking 35 to 45.
Okay. So what is
So,
that being older?
because what did they learn when they became a nurse? Did they learn task based medicine or did they learn evidence based medicine?
Probably more task based.
Exactly. And what are they still teaching?
Well, we are trying to teach
Nope,
most evidence
nope,
based.
nope. That's bullshit. That's
So
you.
nursing school do teach you how to do the thing,
You didn't
right? The
listen to what
task.
I said. What do
What?
those old ass nurses, what do
Hmm.
they still teach?
Oh, they only teach what they know, right?
They teach task based medicine, not evidence.
Right.
You give out your students. I won't tell you what school. I was a young clinical instructor. Okay, well, good for you, 26-year-old. But what did you teach your fucking students? What were you taught? I gotta look and see who this was. I'm gonna fucking call you out by name and shit now. Don't make me call you out and shit. Oh, don't. Okay, I get you. I won't call you out by name because I love you and shit. But you got to understand this. When you were fucking a young nurse, what did those old ass bitches teach you? Did they teach you fucking evidence based medicine or did they teach you clinical evidence based medicine? And the problem is, if they're teaching you task based medicine, that's what you're going to teach your nursing
Right.
staff or your nursing students. I'll give you a prime example because the school that you teach at, I
Hmm.
won't name it, but your teachers where you work, they have a book that you give the students, and they still say that in your book that you give the fucking students, they say don't inflate the foley when you fucking insert it. But what do the fucking old ass nurses still teach?
Oh they tell you don't test it because back in the day when I was in nursing
No,
school,
listen to what I said.
what?
That's what the fucking book says.
Yeah,
But what do the old nurses still teach your students? Because
to
I
test
get,
it.
yeah,
I
they
mean,
say,
I
yeah,
don't know what they. I think in
I
nursing
do
school,
because I
some
see
older nurses would teach
I
students
know what
like,
they teach you because your fucking students come to my classes and they say to me, my nursing instructor told me to check the balloon for the integrity. But what does the
right.
fucking book say?
Well, you don't check it
So
because you can disrupt the
why,
integrity.
if the book says don't check the integrity, why does the fucking old ass nurses teach your students to do it?
That's because what they know. They only
Ex-
can teach what they
Okay,
know. You
but
can't teach
stop.
what you
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
stop teaching what you know and start teaching what the fucking book says. If you're an instructor, read the motherfucking book. Shit changes.
Well, I hope that that would be every instructor at
But it's
every
not.
institution's
I
focus.
want you to come. I challenge you, Starshema, to come to my
Hmm.
class tomorrow. I know Saturday. I got a
Hmm.
class on Saturday, my IV class.
Hmm.
You come and you talk to these fucking nurses and you ask them the questions I'm asking you. What did your nursing instructors teach you? And
Hmm.
I can guarantee you that 80% of them are still
Hmm.
taught old school shit and not what's the
Right.
news.
But that's what I'm saying. So even as so that's a question. That's a thing for nursing people who are nursing education, right? So how do we teach the things that are evidence based or the things and the right things that
But
we're doing,
that's
and not
but
teaching the things
Yeah,
that
but that's what I
we
asked my
don't.
students. How does
Hmm.
Kevin know evidence-based medicine? How did I learn that shit?
Well,
I wasn't taught it. How did I learn it?
you have to go teach yourself, or you have to go and study and get the
I
education.
Exactly. I read a
Experience
motherfucking
brings it to.
book. I read a motherfucking
Hmm.
book. If I didn't understand what was in the book, I'd go to
Hmm.
Sarshima and I'd say, Sarshima, I read this shit. It doesn't make sense. Can you fucking help me make it understand sense? But every nurse needs to do that. Why won't they?
Right. Well, sometimes it's that. Well, we should all be continuous learners, right? That's our
Yeah,
thing as
but you
professions. But
didn't.
some people, it's hard to unlearn what they.
No, that's bullshit. That's excuses are like assholes. Everybody's
Right.
got one, and they all stink. How did Kevin learn evidence based medicine? I read a fucking book. I went to Starshema and I said, Starshema, I read this fucking book, but I don't understand it. Can you help me fucking understand it? Why can't every nurse do that?
It's personal response accountability.
Exactly.
It's on
Exactly.
them,
So
you
I don't
know.
want to hear fucking people say they can't do it. If Kevin does it and Kevin can learn it, I'm a dumb motherfucker, Starshima.
I don't think that it's not that people cannot do it. It's the willingness to want to do it, right? It's
Exactly. So
not that they don't. I mean that they can't, because everything, all things are possible, right? It is the willingness. So I'm saying for every, it's like that personal accountability. I shouldn't go and push a med if I don't know how to give it. I shouldn't teach something I don't know. I shouldn't educate a person about something that I'm not familiar with, right?
excuses are like assholes.
Right.
Everybody's got
So
one,
person,
and they all fucking stink.
right? Because we are all continuous learners, as
Right.
Florence Nightingale
Right.
impacted the profession
So
with, right?
shit, or get off the pot.
Right, for sure. Absolutely. And
But
I
that's
think
my
it's just getting
point.
that commitment back. I think that goes back. I can't remember who said it in the group, but how do you ignite your own passion again? How do you get back to that love and that education and not feeling
Stop being
bitter?
fucking jaded. Stop being jaded. Stop listening to these old motherfucking nurses.
Hmm.
Stop being jaded. Love people. Now,
Hmm.
I'm not a religious person. I don't know if you know me, Starshema. I'm not a religious person at
Are
all.
you not a religious person, Kevin?
I grew up hardcore Southern Baptist. I got the shit kicked out of me in Jesus' name.
Oh.
But if you just look at the Bible on its face, Jesus was a mentor. He went out
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
he mentored people on the streets. He loved people on the streets. He was with the homeless. He was never in the fucking church. He was with the homeless people. That's what nurses are. We're those people that go to the homeless people, to the people who can't take care of themselves, who don't understand. We're there to mentor and love them. And if you don't have that passion, you're not going to get it. There's no way to get it. You're so worried about the fucking job. You're so worried about the money. Quit worrying about that shit. Worry about the patient.
It's almost like just serve, right? Like serve and serve
Right.
with everything in you, and then
Right.
everything else will come over. But I think we go into it for the wrong reasons. And I
Right.
don't think it's always about listening. I guess we can listen to other people, but we have to have our own self, right? You have to know why you're in this. It can't be for money, because what happens when the money goes away? What happens when you don't feel like you've earned enough? I think every nurse who's nursed for
Oh,
some period of time,
I'm
there's
glad
some
you
days
said.
that you went home and you felt like you made no money because you were emotionally depleted. That emotional bank account was absolutely dry. So that someone says self motivation is key. I agree with you, right? And like you said, God was that ultimate example. He was out with the sick, right? He was out in the with the sick. We don't need healed people to come in. If so, we don't have a profession or a job. We need the sick people, right?
Yeah,
And we're doing the work.
I
Yeah.
don't understand why fucking nurses don't get that. When people come in, like I'm an ER nurse, when people come in at 3 o'clock in the morning, my stomach hurts, I don't feel good. I bring them back to a bed and like, Starshima, can I have a sandwich? What the fuck? You're here for stomach pain. Why do you want a sandwich? Who gives a fuck? Give them a fucking sandwich. They're probably there because they're lonely, they don't feel good, they don't have anybody to love them. You got to have compassion for everyone. You're there 12 hours. You're going to get paid no matter what you do. Why do you give a fuck why they're there? Quit complaining and shit. You got a motherfucking job. You're not out in the fields picking grapes. You're not fucking out in the fucking snow cleaning the streets and shit. You're in a hospital where the fucking air conditioner in the hospital is. So why are you complaining shit? I don't get that shit. So I haven't. I'm glad you said this because I have a nurse. I won't tell you her name, but she's applying for a job. She wants to be a manager. She asked for 65 bucks an hour because I told her to ask for that shit. And they told her, well, we'll call you back. And then she messaged me back saying, oh my God, I don't think they're going to fucking hire me. I said, who gives a fuck? Multiply 65 times eight, right? 8 hours a day, $65 times eight, times five, times 365 days or 52 weeks. I don't remember what I said, but it comes out to like $135,000 a year. That is not that much money to be working 24/7 as a fucking manager and director. And she's worried that she's not going to get the job. But I'm like, fuck that shit. If they don't want to pay you what you deserve, fuck them. Let them get somebody else, and their shit's going to be shitty. They're going to have a shitty department. You get what you pay for. And that's what nurses got to understand, that you deserve more. All right, we got two questions here. I missed them. I got fucking slow because I'm fucking talking too much shit. One person says, I got to fucking, I know, I'm sorry, Starshima. One person says,
You're okay.
I'm good. One person says, what the fuck did she say? I'm missing question. And they
Okay,
are,
here's one. One said they agree with you, putting the focus back. Okay. How you see yourself as a nurse. Okay. They said my passion as nurses is caring for others. So I work to make sure to do it the right way. That is awesome. This one
yeah.
here is talking about CEs.
Hospitals have done away with education and sent the days are paying for refresher. Yeah, we talked about this. I had a nurse who came in the other day who said that she has to do what's called the RQI. I don't know if anybody know what RQI is, but it's the new type of education that they have for ACLS, PALS, BLS. They basically want you to take a course, and then every 90 days you have to come to a machine and do your skills. This nurse said that she comes in every 90 days, but they don't pay her. They only give her education hours. And I said, fuck that shit. If they're going to make me come into work to fucking do a skill sessions, they're going to pay me and shit. They are required to pay you. You can't fucking come into work and they not pay you. If you're allowing that shit, that's on you. I'm not coming into work for motherfuckers not to pay me and shit. How do you influence change without complaining? I said that before. If you want to influence change without complaining, come with a fucking solution. Don't
Mm-hmm,
fucking just bitch and complain. I
mm-hmm.
don't care as a manager. If I'm your manager, I don't care that you're complaining, but come with a solution. I don't like A, B, and C. So here's a solution to change that shit. And here's why my change is going to save us money. It's going to save us time. It's going to make a difference. But as a manager or director, if you're just bitching and complaining, I'm not going to listen to you. Come with a solution and then I'll listen to you.
And I think when you come with a solution is making sure it's not personal and it's very objective.
Right,
The overall
right,
whole of
right.
the care of the patient is our primary focus. And when we can do this, because I hear people complain all the time, and you probably have heard people complain, and you all in the live has heard people complain. But sometimes we get so used to complaining and griping from a personal standpoint, but it's really not for the common good of the whole, right? It's really
Right.
like this makes it inconvenient for me. But how do we find solutions that is going to help us be better and then provide better care to our nurses? So I think that's why our mission is here, is to give nurses voices, but not give nurses voices to complain about things that don't matter, right? Let's have a mission to complain about the things and bring the solutions to the table that's going to deliver better quality care to
Not
our
just
patients on the backside.
Yeah, but not just that, but if you're complaining because you think you're overwhelmed and shit, do you know what the rules are? Do you know what the regulations are? Most people have no idea what the regulations are. They don't know what the laws are. If you don't educate yourself on the laws, the regulations, what the BRN says, how the fuck are you going to complain? I'm not joking. I eat, sleep, and drink these rules. I put my email so when the board of nursing changes shit, I get an email that says Starshema shit's changing.
And the
So
real truth is, he will inbox me when it's
yeah,
changing.
yes,
You
of
just see a
course,
list of things that are on the horizon that he
yeah,
sent to me.
yeah, but at least you know I'm not full of shit. You might think I'm a fucking nut, but at least I'm telling you the truth, and I see what's coming. I know what the laws are. Things so framing matters yes, of course, because you got to know what the rules are. What does the board of nursing say? And that's where you have to start with. Be honest. Now I'm gonna pick on Starshema because it's her or not. Now be honest, Starshema. Don't fucking lie. How
You know, I
have
like to
you?
tell stories.
No, I know, but have you? True. Be honest. Have you ever read your scope of practice?
The entire scope of practice, I have not.
Exactly, and 99% of nurses have not.
Mhm.
Who has read their scope of practice fucking thoroughly?
Put the three in the chat box if
No,
you are a nurse and
no,
you
you didn't
have
ask.
read your
Yeah, but you didn't answer my question.
what?
Who has read their scope of practice thoroughly?
Probably Kevin.
Yeah, and
Kevin,
I do it because you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
that's true.
Who has read their policies thoroughly?
I can't say I've read every policy
Yeah,
through.
who has?
If y'all so put four in the chat box if you've read your policies
Yeah,
thoroughly, and we're
who
gonna
who
send you a
who
mug. We're gonna
who
send
ha-
you one of our coffee mugs.
who has read the fucking scope of their policies thoroughly?
Kevin,
Yeah, because there's no way that they can fuck with you if you read that shit. Now
That's
wait a
why you
minute.
go up against these doctors, right? You'd be
Wait a
like, I
minute.
know
Yeah,
more than you.
yeah.
I,
But
I
wait a
know more
minute.
than you. I read it.
Yeah, but
This
wait
is
a minute.
black and white.
You giving away free T-shirts and free mugs. Where my motherfucking free T-shirt and
Hey,
mug?
Sarah put four. Sarah put four. Send her her mug, Kevin. Send her her
I
mug.
want that shit. I don't know if I believe Sarah. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna fucking check Sarah. I usually wait. She said I usually read it, but it's not until after a question arises. Well, at least you fucking read it.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
that's true. I mean, we have to read policies.
Melanie says I read the policy because the hospital don't have your back. That's true, Melanie. That's right.
It's true.
I don't know what fucking Alma Molina says. She got some fucking thing. Does that mean you're raising your hand? I read that shit, Alma.
I believe Alma, she's read her policies. I do think it's important to know what your policies are, to know what the scope of practices are, sitting down and going through them, because again, like, I don't know who that young lady was at the top or who it was a Facebook user, says that no organization have your back. And at the end of the day, what's black and white is the only thing that's going to protect you, not the shades of gray, right? It's in these days, it is absolutely absolute.
I love you, Alma. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, but that's my
What
point
she
to you.
say?
She said lots of laugh, yes. Okay, but here's Gustavo Garcia.
Uh-huh.
Places are having nurses work with COVID patients with no extra pay, and even the extra pay is not worth it because if you do get COVID, you have to be out a minimum of 5 days with no pay, so it's not worth it.
Mm.
Okay, Gustavo, I love you, but look at me. I've had COVID 3 fucking times, and what do I still do?
Go to work?
Yeah, fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck. I wear a
But are you
motherfucking.
doing the best thing for the patient?
I don't take care of patients, but I come here. I wear an N95 mask. I mean, how many fucking vaccines are we gonna get? Like, we got a vaccine, we got a booster shot, we got 2 fucking booster shots, we got booster upon booster. Is the flu take booster shots?
No.
Right. So how many fucking booster shots you gonna motherfucking take? They say that you can only get COVID once, but how many times have I gotten COVID?
3 times. Did you take the vaccine? I mean, I don't. You don't have to tell me on live. We can talk
I
about it.
do. I took the vaccine and I took the booster.
Oh,
After that, I said, "Fuck that shit. I'm not taking booster upon booster. When you figure that shit out, then I'll fucking take another shot. I take the
yeah.
flu shot every year because I don't want to get the flu and shit, but I take the flu shot every year. I don't care about vaccinations. And I don't give a fuck. If you don't take a vaccination, I could give a fuck. I'm not
Yeah.
mad at you if you don't. I don't give a fuck about your personal shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just know as a nurse, if you don't do certain shit, the hospital has a right to tell you to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you here at Central Valley Medical, I made every motherfucker take the vaccine.
You made them.
Yeah, hell yeah. I say if you don't take it, get the fuck on, find another job.
Mm.
And if they don't like it, I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
People can be mad at me all they want. But now looking back, I feel bad because we got a vaccine, we got a booster, we got fucking 3 or 4 boosters, and what's coming out? What are they finding out? None of that shit really makes a difference. And I think we rushed it. I think we made errors. But that's my point about medicine. We changed
Changing.
medicine. Yeah, so
They're
I'm not
practicing.
I'm not mad about that shit. I spent 12 years in the army. How many fucking shots did they stab my ass with?
I had this one conversation, a lot probably. I had this one conversation with this
Yeah.
one gentleman who was talking about what his experience was like in the army. And he was saying like all the different things that they would give him or they would
Yeah.
trial on them.
Yeah. And what did
Different
it right?
times.
And
Yeah.
what did they tell us?
What is good for you?
No, Starshema, I don't want to take that. I don't feel comfortable. I don't give a fuck what you want, bitch. You're in the army. Take that shit and shut the fuck up.
Is that what that you don't have no choice to take it?
You don't because the
Take it or
army,
get thrown out?
the military owns you. You signed a
Mm,
contract that says we can fucking abuse you any way we want, Starshema.
mm,
And if you
yeah.
don't like it, shut the fuck up or move the fuck on.
Wow. And then did you take that same mentality? You said that sounds like that's what you were doing to your people when you made them get that vaccine.
No. I asked him, I told him, I'm like, I want you to get vaccinated because we're fucking around all these sick motherfucking nurses and
Mhm.
doctors and shit. I want you to be safe.
Right.
If you don't want to take it, don't take it. But I encourage you to take it. I didn't
Right.
force them to take that shit,
Nice.
but I paid for it if we needed to.
That's awesome.
And everybody that works here, we took it. And guess what? Even though we took the vaccine, what happened?
You still got COVID.
We still get sick as shit. So
Yeah.
fuck it. I mean, it's okay. We love you, motherfuckers. It's
You
okay.
believe in medicine, like it would be so
I
contradicting if
do.
you
I
are
do believe
a
in
nurse and not
medicine.
believe in
I
medicine.
know,
So I
but that's
think
what
you're
makes
doing
me
the right thing.
crazy. How could you be a motherfucking nurse and not believe in science? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you,
I think we
motherfuckers?
all believe in science. I think just
Nope.
some
Nope.
to different,
I disagree with that shit.
some to some degree, to different
I
degrees.
fucking disagree with that shit,
You don't think
Starship.
that
Nope.
nurses or medicine believe in medicine?
Nope. I don't. I believe they let their fucking religion and their way they were raised skew them and shit. Science is motherfucking science. Now, science don't lie. Now, are we always perfect in science? No. But I think that science doesn't lie. We science can help us get better at what we do.
Mm.
But I believe that we let our religious views, our personal views, we let it skew us and shit. Now, does the government lie? Yeah, I believe that shit.
Hmm.
Why? You look at you. You're a black woman. Why does the government lie, Starshema?
They can lie for a multitude
Don't
of different reasons
whatever.
for their
Don't
own gain,
look at me.
to get
Bullshit.
exactly what it is
I'm
that they
putting your
want to
ass on
get,
the fucking spot.
to
Why?
push the things that they want to push their agendas to get
See,
some
look at
type
that.
of.
I'm gonna put your ass on the spot
How you gonna put me on the spot?
because you're a black woman.
What about it?
What do we know about black women and the government? What did we do to your ass fucking 50, 60 years ago?
What did you do to us?
Hmm.
What you mean?
We
Y'all have done a
fucking
lot of, the government's done a lot of things
we
to us.
experimented on you. We fucking sterilized
Exactly.
you. The
Black
Tuskegee
women, black
Airmen.
men.
Yeah, the Tuskegee Airmen. We fucked you up and gave you
Hmm.
syphilis. That's why
Yeah,
people
you
have a
remember
hard
that?
time. Yeah, of course
Yeah.
I know that shit. I
Hmm.
know. Look at me. I love
Yeah.
you.
And I love you too.
I fucking know all the
But I
shit that
think
we
that, and so when
did.
you think about those things, let's unpack this for a minute. So when you say you believe in science, but when you have been done a certain way, how do you always believe without some type of thought process that there may be some hidden agenda behind their actions, although
Yeah,
it may be quote unquote science?
I got you. Like, oh, Tiffany said that shit. I don't know if you know who Tiffany is, but
I
I
don't know.
busted. I
Maybe I
busted.
know Tiffany.
I
Tiffany, do we
bust.
know each other, Tiffany?
I don't know,
We
but
need to go for coffee.
I busted Tiffany's ovaries not that long ago. She says, "I absolutely do not believe science says it all.
Mm-hmm.
I believe someone drives the science
Mm-hmm.
in the direction they want.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely believe there's a time and a place."
Yeah.
And then her next statement was Tuskegee.
Mm-hmm. When you were
Belief,
asking about what did they do 50, yeah.
right? And then Sarah says belief and trust can be two different things. I agree with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I believe in science 100%, but you can't fucking say that science doesn't have its benefits.
Oh, absolutely. Like you believe in that. Like I was, I talk to my students about what science versus sometimes what we see in the natural eye, especially when we get in ethical dilemmas, like keep the patient on the vent, turn the patient off the vent because they're brain dead,
Right.
things like that, right? But I also, like for me, I'm just share with y'all, not that it matters either way. I'm unvaccinated.
It
I chose
matters.
not to get vaccinated.
What the
It just
fuck?
wasn't what I felt like God was telling me to do, right?
That's some fucking bullshit, man.
But I didn't. Does it mean that I don't believe in science? Does it believe that I don't believe in
You
healthcare?
trying to
No,
give
I
me
just felt
you
like that wasn't for me.
you
And
trying to
ask
give
me
me
how
your
many times I got COVID.
whatever. You trying to give me your fucking COVID.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, and I believe it just like again, belief and trust is different, and I think it just depends on the factors. And I lean to my guidance of what I feel in my intuition, what my
Did you
gut
get your
tells me
kids
about a
vaccinated?
thing.
Did you get your kids vaccinated?
My kids did not get vaccinated either.
How about your husband?
My husband is not vaccinated either.
Y'all are fucking sinners and shit, man. I
Well,
don't
now we're sinners. And how many times have we had COVID?
Probably never.
We had
Right.
it one time, and I didn't lose
Yeah.
a taste. I didn't
Yeah.
lose a smell. I
Yeah.
didn't lose anything. And I'm
Somebody else.
not saying that that was it. I just felt like I did what was best for me. But I absolutely believe in medicine. I've seen what medicine has done firsthand for
Yeah.
people. But again, we're practicing. I wasn't ready to be practiced on in this endeavor.
Yeah.
But
No,
my
but
kids do get the general vaccines that they should get, right? So thinking
now,
about that. And
now, but
somebody says, I'm with Starshema, not
right,
vaccinated and never had COVID.
right, right.
See?
Now, but
I
wait,
mean, I'm just saying.
I know, but wait. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Am I being cynical because I say I don't blame you for not being vaccinated as a black woman?
No.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Hmm.
A
He might
lot
be
of
trying to take me out. No, I'm just kidding.
no, 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 but I get
I'm
that.
just joking.
No, I'm not joking. I think a lot of people don't understand why don't see the fucking doctor. They don't
Hmm.
know the history of what we have done to the black women, to the black men, how we tested you and we fucked you over. If I was a black person, I probably wouldn't go see the motherfucking doctor either. I don't want
No, I'm
why
gonna
he
go to the
killing my
doctor though.
motherfucking ass and shit.
Yeah.
No,
No,
but you
I'm
know
gonna
what
go to
I'm
the
saying and shit.
doctor. Yeah. No, I'm
No,
gonna go
but
to the
do
doctor.
you
I just
understand?
think that certain things,
Okay,
and I
but do
don't
you
think about
understand
it as
how?
like. Go ahead.
Do you understand? No, but do you understand how some black people may not want to fucking go see the motherfucking doctor?
I can definitely see that in when you
Can you
hear
blame them?
stories, right?
Can you
Yeah.
blame them?
No, you can't blame them
Yeah,
from their level of understanding and what they
of
believe and
course.
what they've been,
Right.
what culture has taught them. I
Not
can't, but
just
it is
culture,
a
but fucking
disconnect.
truth.
It is true, but I also believe now. Here's where I believe, right? Is I can understand there be maybe some mistrust, but I believe that it's still important and crucial for them to go and get the care that they need and get the health care
But
that they
that's
need.
why. But that's
Um,
why we need black doctors
well, we do. I agree.
because we have Hmong nurses. We need
Hmm.
Hmong. We need Hmong doctors because I don't know if you know about Hmongs, but they're very superstitious. They don't
Hmm.
want to fucking come to see us because they're very
Hmm.
superstitious.
Hmm.
Even if you have a Hmong nurse or a Hmong doctor,
Hmm.
they don't even want to see them motherfuckers because they're superstitious.
Hmm. What's
Because
the
we have
cultural aspect? I think you brought this up
right,
when you came and spoke in one of my classes. Was that it's that cultural aspect of it? We want people who look like us, who can relate to us, to be able to help us through some of the most crucial times.
yeah,
Now, I am far from. I mean, I'm gonna go and get the help that I need whenever I need the help. But I agree when we have more people who look like us in any culture, right? Any
right.
race, any ethnic group, you feel more
So would you be okay if
so comfortable. But
would
I'm
you
not a person who will. I mean,
would you be okay,
I'm diversified.
would you
But
be okay if I checked out your urethra?
that would probably not be no, not with the kind of relationship we have. I'd be like, can I get
Wait.
another nurse,
What the
please?
what the what the fuck? You wouldn't let me
Because
check
I
out
know
your
that because what I know about you, that is not necessarily your specialty where you
so
may be
wait.
really, really gifted at.
Bullshit.
So
I know what a urethra looks like.
I know you do. I
Now
know you
listen to
do.
me. I looked at one of your posts today talking about your coaching shit. And you talk about something about pink women or pink. All I heard
Oh,
is the
the
word,
pink tabletop.
and I don't. You don't
It's
know
for
where my
breast
mind.
cancer.
Yeah, you don't know where my mind went, do you?
Oh my no, Kevin. We not gonna we gotta go do that on air today, Kevin. Y'all gotta get Kevin. Y'all gotta get Kevin. Y'all gotta
Ooh,
get
shit.
Kevin. But I think that this was a good. Y'all let us know. Give us some feedback. This is the first time that Kevin and I have went live on social media. We've talked about it. We've entertained it. Let us know if there's something that you would like to see
Yeah,
us pop in periodically. Did you enjoy the conversation? I personally like the
I
weighing in
liked
the
it.
chat box. I like the conversation. What you think,
Yeah,
Kevin?
I
Like
loved
listening
it.
to what the
Yeah,
people want to
I lo-
talk about and all those things. What did you most enjoy about us going live?
I like it because people give their feedback, they give their life experiences, and we can share with each other. That's the only way we're gonna change nursing is to empower each other.
True.
You can't fucking be shy. You got to be able to speak out. So I love it.
Yes. I said, someone said, I love it live, love the live
Yeah, I
feed.
love you
Questions
too,
is real
Serena.
time
Yeah,
is
thank you for
exactly what we
listening.
need.
Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
Tell people about us.
Yeah. I love the
If you,
interaction and sharing. Yeah. Invite your
yeah,
friends if you all in a nurse to nurse community, nurse to nurse podcast community. Invite your good nursing friends over. Let's
yeah,
have some good nurse to nurse conversation. Because again, our mission here is to unleash the voices of nurses and to do it in a very, they want us to be crazy and to be overly this, but what if we just united our voices and talked about
right,
the things that matter and
right,
change healthcare? I
right.
look at Kevin and I both, we are both nursepreneurs, which means that we own our own businesses. And both of us, of what we do, we still drive impact at the bedside
Right.
by what we're doing, right? Even having these conversations with you all today, we're still driving the bedside care, right? So we're still aiding to, someone said, uniting our voices. Absolutely. Together we stand, and
Thank you,
let's not be
Melanie.
scared
Yeah.
about the
Thank you,
matters that
Tiffany.
matter
Yeah,
to us.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We do have a group on Facebook. Sarah said make a group on Facebook so we can
we
continue
do.
the convo.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There is a group, Miss Sarah. Are you in the group? It's called Nurse to Nurse Podcast
If not,
Community.
I'll invite
Join
you
us
and shit.
there.
Don't worry, Sarah. I'll invite
Yeah.
your ass. I'll keep inviting everybody.
All right. Someone said, I love
So
the interaction and sharing. I think it's been a great
I love you too.
conversation.
I love all of you. If
Y'all
you
get to
need
see
a
what I get to deal with behind the scenes on Saturday mornings at 6:30 or 5:30. Did you guys see that reel where he was in the wrong studio, but he was yelling at me because he couldn't find me. But I was in the right space. Y'all see the
shit.
things I got
So,
in?
if you need a coach though, if you need a mentor, you need a coach. Make sure you see Starshema at Brand Nurse Coach. You know she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram. She teaches nurses and she mentors nurses. She's your coach. So if you need it, Starshema's the person. So
Yeah. We teach
she
you what my real
she
magic is just really just helping you build the brand of you.
yeah, but who do you believe in, men or women? Who you focus on?
For
Don't
me, I
fucking
focus on working with
right,
women, but I
women.
believe in men too.
I
Like
know,
we're,
but
we're on a
you,
podcast together.
I
I think
know,
men need the
I
growth
got
go
you,
around.
but you, we need somebody to support women and shit though. We do.
No, I think women
Yeah,
nurses and women in general, we have to start leveraging our voices,
that's why I love
leveraging
you.
us to be able to drive impact in the world. And that's what I help you
Right,
is leverage that brand of you. Because
right,
what I know is I was a censored nurse. I had no brand. And essentially I didn't know, I knew what I was doing as a nurse, but my voice didn't matter. I was in a
right,
place where I felt like I was lost. But when I got crystal clear about who I was, what I stood for, and how I decided to show up in an organization, things begin to shift for me. Like you see me different spaces and different highlights where an organization said, well, maybe our missions both connected or our visions to where they utilized me for their marketing that went beyond my years of even serving at the organization to now helping nurses unleash and build future nurses. So build the brand of you. You matter. We need you to be completely unleashed, and the best way to do that is to leverage you. So
right. That's right.
I'm
I
passionate
believe you.
about it, y'all. I'm
Me
passionate
too.
about it. Sarah says she's not in the group, so add Sarah to the group,
I'll
Kevin.
add you to the group.
That's
Don't
your
worry about it.
assignment
Yeah,
tonight, okay?
I'll add you. Don't worry, Sarah. I'll add your ass and shit. Don't worry. Maybe
Okay.
I invited you. You just didn't fucking accept this shit. So,
All right, that's awesome.
but
So we're
you,
gonna round it up tonight because I'm gonna go make sure my kids are nice and tucked away. Kevin don't have little kids like I got little kids, so I gotta go put those little kids away. So he gonna take us out.
I hope that you fucking had a good time tonight. Make sure that you, if you need help and shit, talk to Starshema. If you need CPR, HLS, PALS, NRP, don't forget to visit us at morethancpr.com and stuff. And don't worry, Sarah. I'll add your ass too and shit. I love you, baby.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Take care.
Stay safe.